During our walk with the Lord, it's often good to hear something that causes us to stop and think about our current situation and our standing with God. Sometimes we all need a little jolt just to put us back on a serious footing with the Lord. The divine romance is such a topic, and we've split it up into 3 sessions. Join me as we begin with part 1. Over the years, many interpretations of the Word of God have been availed to us, sometimes leading people to form groups or organizations around those particular doctrines. Now, we need to remember that it's very possible that we may not personally experience the end of the world as some people have believed or described to us. The Lord may take us home before those things manifest on the earth. Therefore, our focus should always be on God Himself, our personal relationship with Him, so that whatever unfolds in the future, we will have first-hand information from Him directly. It was God's plan from the beginning to create a bride for Adam, the first man, and it was also His intention on the final stage of time to create a bride for the second man, Jesus. Irrespective of our end-time translations, views, or standpoints, the above statement is an irrevocable spiritual truth. Based on accepting this fact, it's a great help in understanding the parable of the 10 virgins, to firstly have a look at what the Jewish marital tradition was in the day of Jesus. It's also good to know why Jesus taught in parables. And on their inquiry as to why He did so, He told His disciples that parables were only for their ears. To explain parables to them, He took them aside privately and revealed the meaning to them. The parable of the 10 virgins is no different. Jesus is taking you and I aside today so that He can explain the meaning to us. When it became time for a young Jewish man to be married, and for the most part his bride had already been chosen by none other than his father, he accompanied his father to the home of his bride-to-be. At this meeting between father and son, the young woman and her father, a proper binding legal contract for their marriage was drawn up. The price that the young man had to pay was critically important. But there were also issues of blood relation and older sisters on the young girl's side. Remember the story of Jacob, Leah, and Laban? Finally, agreement was reached between the parties, and then the young man made a speech and toasted his bride-to-be with a glass of wine. On leaving her house, he told her that he was going to his father's house to prepare a place for her. The custom of the day did not allow for a fixed wedding date. The date was determined by when their wedding chamber would be ready for occupation. The chamber had to be readied and stocked with provisions for the 7 days that they would be in there, initially to consummate their marriage contract. The young man's father was the one who approved of the structure before it could be occupied. And that was because it was at his father's house. So he alone knew the day and the hour in which the young man could go and collect his bride. For her part, the bride would have to do a lot of waiting. She would know that the little chamber was being built. Perhaps her friends would report secretly to her about the building progress, but she would never know the day or the hour of completion. Join me again soon for part 2 of the Divine Romance. In the meantime, may the Lord bless you all.